transitioning out of the breakdown to our favorite segment, man. Top five segment, man. We enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing it with you because you give some very good perspective. And sometimes our lists are completely different. Other times,
Hmm.
sometimes they mirror each other. But like I said, I love to hear what you say. So like I said, I'll start off this one, man. But our top five list today is the NFC West best teams of all time. This is a conference. This is a division that's been very, very competitive, man. Like people think about the 49ers teams, and it'd be easy to make a top five list with all five teams being 49ers, but there were some really good teams from other representatives in this division. So, like I said, I'll start, man. My top five list is interesting. Like I have some interesting teams, but I think we might have a few of the same. I say that.
Okay, let's talk.
So my first team is the 89 49ers. That squad, I forgot who they played in the Super Bowl, but they end up winning.
Denver.
Denver.
They played Denver.
Yeah. So if my calculation is correct, that was probably one of the worst Super Bowls ever because the game was over in the first quarter. So yeah. Yep, one of John Elway's tough Super Bowl losses. We'll say that. But like I said, the team was stacked with three first team all pros, including Montana, Jerry Rice, and Ronnie Lott. So that speaks for itself if you got those guys balling out like that. And it showed in the
Hmm.
Super Bowl, man, they were clearly the best team, right? So obviously I think they would have loved to get a three-peat because I believe they won in 88 and they won in 89, but they ended up
Hmm.
losing to the Giants the next year in the NFC championship game, which started the Bills' tough run in the Super Bowl. Um,
Hmm.
but like I said, 89 49ers, number one on my list. 84 49ers is number two on my list because
Okay, so you're starting from 1 to 5.
huh?
You're starting from number 1 to 5.
Yeah, let's start with one and five.
Okay.
We'll switch it up. We'll
Okay.
switch it up.
It threw me off. I'm like, wait a minute. I know he didn't put them boys at 5. No,
No,
you're
no,
good. I
no,
got
no.
you.
We're going one to five because we're going one to five simply because they're too good to leave out of the conversation. Like because the list of you'll know where we're going with it. So I just start one after that. So
Okay.
number two on my list, I'm gonna go with the 84 49ers, man. I call them the Dan Marino stoppers, man, because Dan Marino came. If you understand, Dan Marino came into this league something different. Like
Came
he
in red
came
hot.
red hot. So that team right there is on my list because they were tasked with stopping Dan Marino from taking this league over. Like if he wins a Super Bowl in '84,
True.
do you
We're
understand
having a much different conversation.
do you understand how big that is? Because he's already in the running for MVP because he hit 5,000 yards. He's the first quarterback to do that.
Hmm.
So you already know that he's probably gonna be even bigger than he was if he wins that Super Bowl.
Oh, dude,
But
they probably stopped that dynasty. If they beat them, they might not go on that tear like they did. The Dolphins might turn around and try to win a few for sure.
yeah, so like I said, maybe you see it league's a little different, right? But I think that team has to be on the list because they had to stop somebody that was on a tear, and it took a team effort to beat him because he could put up some points on you. So obviously they probably didn't play very good defense, but hey, you don't need defense when you can score 40 sometimes, man. And
Hmm.
that team definitely stopped Dan Marino and on my list. Number three is you probably know where I'm going. The 99 St. Louis Rams, man, greatest show on turf, dog. I could have easily been a homer and put them number one, but that'd be disrespectful to the 49ers dynasty that they had throughout the 80s and stuff. So but 99, man, what a year. Obviously, we start off the year with Trent Green as quarterback, gets hurt in the preseason, and the rest is history. We have this grocery bagger named Kurt Warner, and he just goes on to to lead us to the Super Bowl, our first one in franchise history. Don't forget that, young kids. 2020 was not the first Rams championship. That was the first one in LA, but they got one
Mhm.
already. So, like I said, Kurt Warner goes on and does a clean sweep, man. MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and just does his thing, man. But people don't understand how important Marshall Falk was. Marshall Falk was, I think, brought in maybe a year or so before, but he was a main person, man. He was tough out there, man. But I can't go on. Everybody thinks about offense, man, but defense, they had some guys. Obviously Dre Bly, we spoke about him in one of our college
Mhm.
episodes, man. He was a stud out there. Dexter McCleon, people don't understand that
Yeah,
name.
he was really good too.
But those two guys kind of locked the receivers down, man. So the team was stacked on both sides of the ball, and they did their thing, man. So yeah, number 3 on my list. Number 4, I kind of flip flopped. I wanted to put this team above them because of the defensive guy that I am.
Yeah,
But
I think
I
me and you are going to be pretty similar.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Okay, what you got?
but I couldn't do that because I am a homer. But number 4 is 2015 Seahawks, man. Legion of Boom. I can't make a list without putting them on there. They had a good run with those group of guys, culminating in a Super Bowl destruction against the Denver Broncos. And it was rough, man. It was a rough day for those Denver Broncos. But I love the way they played defense. And one interesting fact about their team on defense is that they never really got a lot of penalties for legal hits. So a lot of their hits were legal and tough. And I love how they built their secondary as kind of the thing on their defense, man. It made their defense aggressive, and you could plug and play as long as you had those 4 guys back there, hitting people and stopping people from catching the ball, man. So I love Richard Sherman. I love how they mixed that extra corner. Whoever it was, you can plug in a Revis, you can plug in Brandon Browner, you can plug in anybody in there to be on the other side of Richard Sherman because you know who's going to be there, right? And then you drop in some other guys, like you put anybody there. It's almost like having Deion Sanders on one side. You can just, as long as you do your job on the other
The
side.
secondary was tough, bro. With Cam
Yeah,
Chancellor on them,
yeah,
it was.
Chancellor and Earl Thomas back there doing stuff. So yeah, so that defense was tough and it was aggressive and a lot of blitzes, man. And then like I said, I can't put I could put another 49ers team up there as my 5, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna put the Arizona Cardinals in '08. That run they did was crazy. With another guy that we all know, grocery bagger, who played for
Kurt
the
Warner.
Iowa Barnstormers in arena football, Kurt Warner. One of his last swan songs of a career. But boy, what was it, man? Obviously he went on the run, did some things, did some great things, man. They had some good players on that team, man. And he just kind of put it all together. He was the missing link, man, because they had some good defenders. I want to say Antrell Rowe was on that team. I want to say Carlos Dansby was on that team. I think Calais Campbell was on that team. So some
Yep.
really tough defenders, man. And that's just defense, man. Offense, man. You had Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald on the outside. I want to say Steve Breston running the slot. So they had a
Hmm.
really good team to go through a lot of people, man. And it
It
was,
wasn't for Antonio Holmes.
yeah, exactly. If it wasn't for one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history, they'll have one, man. But that team right there, I thought was definitely one of the best teams in NFC West history, man. And like I said, that was just because you don't win the Super Bowl doesn't really hurt your chances on my list in a sense because like I said, man, sometimes you just meet a better team. And that year, you can't say that the Pittsburgh Steelers in '08 wasn't the better team. They had
They
chip,
were both stacked, but the Steelers had a better roster.
yeah. See what I'm
And
saying?
they had
Like,
experience. A lot of those guys were on that other team when they still had Jerome Bettis on them. So
yep.
the
So
experience was there.
Yep. So, like I said, sometimes you just meet a better team, man. That's why the Super Bowl is awesome, man, because you get two interesting storylines. But as far as the NFC West is concerned, they're definitely on my list. So, what you think?
Well, I'm gonna keep things interesting, but it's damn near. I will just be honest. We didn't discuss anything. We didn't disclose anything. We didn't show our cards to either one. So if anybody wants to be, oh, da, 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 no, we're going off a lot of the same sources, a lot of the same stats, stuff like that. I just think we share a lot of the same ideals and values. But I'll start with five. I've got the same five. I've got the '08 Cardinals too. I think the '08 Cardinals were really special. Like you said, the defense was really good. I like the offense with Kurt. You had Fitz, Anquan, Steve Preston, Early Doucette. He had a lot of good weapons.
How about him?
They played really well in that game. The only two things that I say that did them in was that fumble return by James Harrison, almost 100 yards for a touchdown. They recovered. Fitzgerald caught that pass over the middle and took it for a touchdown, and everybody thought it was game over. But here comes Big Ben, final drive, fourth quarter money drive, and he puts the ball in a place that only Santonio Holmes can get it. Probably one of the most underrated Super Bowls ever that I think I would like to go back and watch. I think it was just a really good battle of back and forth. But yeah, Cardinals are definitely top five. Even if you're not trying to just squeeze those specific teams in, I think they should be top five regardless.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I've got the same four as you. I've got 2013 Seattle Seahawks, Legion of Boom.
Okay.
I think that defense was historically good. The offense was obviously still young with Russell Wilson. I think within his first 3 years, that defense carried them the entire way. And they were definitely underrated going into that game, going against Peyton Manning, Wes Welker, Demaryius Thomas. Dude, they were loaded. There's no way that Denver should have flopped the way they did. But Seattle put that whooping on them boys, and they laughed them out of the building. I don't even know if Denver even scored a touchdown in that game, if I'm not mistaken. But if they did, must have
They
been
scored one.
in garbage time.
Just
Well,
one.
it must have been in garbage time because I think they won by damn near almost 40 points.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. I love it. But one thing
That's
about
probably if you go back and watch the Super Bowl, don't go back and watch that one. Not worth your time. But Seattle, that's a historically good team.
one thing about that Super Bowl that people don't understand is what kind of messed the Broncos up was losing that left tackle and right tackle before that game. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that messed up everything, all their timing, because that just sent everybody on blitzes, man. That's how really
He had no
Malcolm.
time. He had no time in the pocket. They were in the backfield every time he'd take a snap. It didn't matter if he was under center and shotgun. They were back there.
Yeah, that's what really set Malcolm Smith off, man, and kind of turned him into a really great linebacker. He made a lot of money after that, winning Super Bowl MVP and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what kind of set him off, man, because they sent him on blitzes. Everybody was just ready to go, man. So I wish they would have got another one, but we all know how that went. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, they did their thing, man. I like that a lot. Yeah.
So up to this point, we're still the same. Number three, I'm going 99 Rams. Greatest show on turf. Probably one of the most prolific offenses I think either one of us has ever gotten the privilege to watch. You're working with Kurt Warner. You got Marshall Falk. You got Torrey Holt. You got Isaac Bruce. A lot of good playmakers on defense. That team was on a mission, and I don't think anybody's seen that train coming. Nobody had their ticket punched, but they did. They ran the table and they made it the entire way, and they shocked a lot of people. And I mean, if you want an offense to be able to go up and down the field and score whenever the hell they want, that's the offense. I think historically good team, underrated defense, but really, really good offense. I've got the 99 Rams at three. My two, I think our one and two might let's see. So my two, I've got the 89 49ers.
Okay.
14-2 in the regular season. Really dominant. I mean, there's not too much you really have to say. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, I mean, Dwight Clark, all those guys. John Elway didn't stand a chance. When you lose 55-10, I mean, it's not much to talk about. I
It
mean,
wasn't close.
all love to John Elway, probably one of my favorite quarterbacks ever. It wasn't his time to shine. It was the Joe Montana train, and man, they ran the train because they left them completely out of the building.
Man.
But number one, dude, you got to go with the 84 Niners. Like 15-1 in the regular season. the fact that you meet Miami in the Super Bowl, that's probably one of the most important games ever because, like we said, Dan Marino was hot. Hot, hot, hot. First quarterback to ever throw for 5,000 yards before Drew Brees did it again in, I think, like 2010 or whatever. If they lose that game, the whole football landscape might be completely different. We don't know.
Bro,
But the fact that
the Dan Marino conversation is completely different, dude.
Oh, no, he's going to win more than one ring if that's the case. If they beat the
Man,
Niners there, he's walking away with at least 3. I
man, like
mean, it's a crazy what if.
that's crazy the disrespect Dan Marino gets, man. Like he literally revolutionized passing in
He's
the
probably got one of
NFL.
the quickest releases I've ever seen.
Man,
Just as probably top 5 most accurate quarterbacks ever. Man, the guy could put a freaking ball in a bucket whenever the hell he wanted. But I think 49ers defense should get a lot more credit. They held that offense to only 16 points. And Joe Montana and then put 38 on that Miami defense. Really good game. I really wish the Dolphins would have kept it closer, but I guess the 49ers just really honed in on Marino and just, I mean, if you can hold that offense to 16 points, that's very impressive. Because,
yeah,
man, he was
I
young
agree.
at that point. Early, he was, I think, his second year. Yeah, because he got drafted in '83, if I'm not mistaken. That must have been his second year. I mean, dude, that's damn so impressive. And we could probably have a whole side conversation about him and what if they win that game. But, yeah, 84
Yeah.
Niners, only lose one game all year. That's number one in my book, hands down.
All right, no, we flip flopped, man. We flip flopped. We flip flopped, man. That like I said, that 84 and 89, bro. You could literally flip flop, man. It really, like I say, both were dominant 49ers teams. Actually, all their Super Bowl teams for real.
I mean, you can make a top 5 just with them if you wanted to, but I mean, where's the fun in that?